Hello, wonderful people, and welcome on back. Today we've got the finale, hopefully, the finale of our Final Fantasy IX playthrough using the Magari mod. We're probably going to make it through the Memoria dungeon, I guess you could call it, and finish off the final boss and final boss and final boss, because it's a multi-stage affair, because it wouldn't be a Final Fantasy game otherwise. But after that, definitely going to take some time to potentially beat out one of the super bosses and explore some more of the end game content that you could miss or you might not even choose to address as part of it when you're playing through, and that's totally okay. But let's first talk about what we've been up to with regards to what's been happening with the game. First thing to point out is that we made a lot of things happen off screen in comparison to when we left off. The last thing we tried to do as we said goodbye last time is we had entered Memoria and almost basically got annihilated. It was not cute. We were somewhere around the mid 50s range level and we weren't doing so good. So I spent a few hours, 2, 3 maybe, not too many, but just a few hours, just literally going in a circle over and over and over again here in the Memoria entrance. And so, what I was really doing was I was just standing in this one spot and I, circled over and over and over again to make sure that our characters would level up appropriately. I even took some of that time and made sure that everybody's abilities were nice and crisp. So that included, making sure that they've, got at all the steps that they need to do, ensuring that when we were trying to figure out, what's the word I'm looking for? Trying to make sure that all of their abilities were earned, that they've unlocked all of their equipment, and then, of course, leveling up our reserve team. So, we've spent some time doing work in regards to this primary team, Zidane, Dagger, Freya, and Quina. But what about our other homies? What's going on with them? And so when we took a look, and I think I can just click on this button right here, we can see that Vivi, Steiner, Aiko, and Amarant, who were levels like 28 to 30 something, have all kind of caught up to where they need to be. They're not fully mastered out, they haven't developed all of their skills, but the idea, the premise, the life story here is that they've caught up. In catching up too, and I'm going to take us there, just wanted to show y'all some additional things that I did off camera. They're not always exciting, so I wanted to make sure that they still got done though. And so when we jump on back here to the map, we can see a few different things. The first thing is we made a new old friend. And so what we did with Choco, the Chocobo, is the last time I believe we saw him, at least for all y'all, he was a beautiful red color. He could climb the mountains, he could soar up into the sky and do whatever he wanted to do. But what Choco wasn't able to do at that time and point was have the ability to descend into the dark deep sea, this dark blue color. And what he also wasn't able to do was soar up into the sky. And so now that we've taken some of that time to make sure that Choco can in fact do that, he is now a typical golden lighter pastel version of the yellow. So he can go into the dark blue sea. That's absolutely no problem at all. But that's what you get when you're a dark blue Chocobo. When you are this golden color, this really nice color, you also get the ability to fly. And, some people might be like, oh, well, you have an airship. Why is this a good ability? Why is this necessary? And that's, of course, because of our beautiful chocographs. We have found them all. I dug them all up. And so we've gotten a bunch of rare items. We got all of that done and out of the way. And so that's really paved the direction for us to be able to have some of the really cool abilities. But more importantly, although it might not be as important right now, is that we have unlocked the ability to feed Choco these dead peppers. I've got a few of them, and they're going to come in handy when we have to go and fight the Superboss after we complete out the main mission here. So around this area somewhere, you're going to find a space with I want to call it like a dark spot. It's really looking like a floating circular black dot, and it moves around, so we do have to be able to find it. But the idea, the premise is that if you feed Choco one of those dead peppers while you are riding it in this flight formation, Choco will actually go to the air garden, and that is where you get some of the final abilities and items, but at the same time you also can fight Ozma, who is going to be our super mega ultra boss battle, who is also made of rainbow, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But with that being said, we can jump back into the story. The only thing about Choco's ability to fly is you can only land in forests and take off in them, but that's not really a problem per se. So let's head on back to Memoria to pick up where we left off, and we'll just pop right back on in. So to catch us back up on the story, we have made it to Memoria. We have plans to hunt down Kuja, our technically older brother Genome, who was an original angel of death and destruction, but he's going to die, and supposedly Zidane's going to take over the world and end it, so that way Terra can assimilate. Will that actually happen? We don't really know just yet, but we are going to take on our approach to get it over. You also see that we've updated some of our equipment. They have mastered all of their abilities, so that's really good. And we'll come back to it. We might even catch some more frogs to see if we can get Queena's quote-unquote ultimate weapon, which I believe is the Gastro Fork. But Freya, Dagger, and Zidane, obviously Zidane, have their ultimate weapon, at least in the general sense of the game. We also have some cool new abilities. All of our characters have the same 4 abilities attached, which are great for the end game, which is auto float, so no ground damage works, auto haste, so we're going at quickened speeds, auto regen, which is about like getting health back little bits at a time, and this great ability known as auto life. So auto life only works once per battle, but when you go down, when you fall and you hit 0 health, you get right back up one time. And so that can be really helpful, especially if some of our enemies are doing something crazy. So we're making our way up the Memoria Tower, and I just wanted to take another brief moment to appreciate our pre-rendered backgrounds and our little animations. It just really makes a difference. So, this place doesn't look exactly like somewhere we've been before, but it's a rather interesting setting that we have here. We're going to just keep on heading on. There doesn't seem to be any treasure for us to collect, and we also haven't encountered a single enemy just yet, but I'm sure that'll change very soon. Oh, spoke way too soon. Who could it be? Now, this person looks really familiar. And in fact, we're meeting them again. When we did that 4-arc triumph of sending each team of 2 to go and attack, it seems that we didn't defeat all of the Guardians, which is fine. It's not the end of the world. But I guess if we're fighting this one, we're going to have to fight them all. And we can, as we've done before, speed up our battle a little bit. Now, I believe this enemy's name is pronounced Malaris. They're pretty tough. You know, they're doing about a fourth of our health as we go into battle, but it doesn't seem like we're struggling too much. When we were originally making our way in, uh, even the common random encounter enemies were taking us down. So, you know, that is a good difference. And so what's really interesting is that this is our first time an enemy has used an ability as they were dying to kind of try to take us out, but obviously it didn't work. And even if it had taken us down, again, we have auto life. So they all literally would have just gotten right back up. What's going on here? Isn't this Alexandria? What's it doing here? Notice how Queena doesn't respond in the slightest. They're just like, I'm here. I'm enjoying myself. No big eyeball. What you talk about? I not see anything. Of course you can't see anything. You weren't with us at the time, so it's not in your memory. Memoria? Playing on your memories? Who would have thought? Oh, and it seems like Garland is still able to talk to us even though he fell to his death a long time ago. Is this something I can look at? Oh, interesting. So we don't see any Mughals in Memoria, but it seems like there's still the ability to access some kind of menu when we're looking for it. And we found an angel flute. I think flutes are just for Aiko. Yeah. So we'll move on. It stands to reason that the final dungeon would have something good in it for our characters. A storm? We can look up at the sky. This whole area is destroyed. So obviously Zidane can see the memory. Hey, what are you doing? I just saw a little girl on a ship. And they're gone. That was my memory. Why was Zidane able to see it? Uh-oh. You didn't imagine anything. This is what we love, okay? You know, plot. I love problems. I love seeing a story develop, but I hate the trope of if we just miscommunicated. Like, just talk to each other, okay? Just announce. Be truthful. Why did we see something from your memory, Garnet? And naturally, Garland's like, I'm not giving an answer just yet. I feared Gaia's Eidolons more than anything. However, I decided to deal with them before they became a major problem. Which would explain the large battle on Madain Sari. Ooh, very nice. Over 9,000 damage. I don't think we've seen that before. Come on, you can do it. Don't do it. Don't crunch him. Such a shame. And there goes the dynamite. I also made sure that we went to the store and I stocked up on just a little bit of everything. You know, you can never have too much of a good thing. Um, let's get everybody back up to snuff. Oh no, into the eye we go. Zidane, can you hear me? What you saw was from your memory, not Garnet's. I don't even remember being in a storm at sea. You still don't understand. You'll find out soon enough. Can other people's memories become part of my own? Theory here, as Terra assimilates into Gaia, is he just absorbing somebody else's memory? A tremendous force was summoned to Gaia during the Age of War 10 years ago. Oh, even longer ago, 500 years ago. And they took the jewel that they used to summon Alexander. Ooh. So far we've found 2 really good items, both for characters we're not actively using. Those rune claws would be for Amaran, and we all know how I feel about him. Alright. Yes, we defeated Malaris, and so you are Tiamat. Hello, Tiamat. Meet the King of Dragons, Bahamut. Also, with a Dragon Knight, a Dragoon, I'm sure this will be quite easy. Ooh, that did not do a lot of damage. Queena, no! I always think the eject status effect is always so funny. Oh, we only have 2 characters left. But I guess we're just now without Queena and... Very interesting. So I believe that status move that we got hit with is called Heat, which basically means if you do anything, you go down. And obviously this character knows how to take us out a little bit, but there's got to be something we can do. Come on, take him down. Also, it was really interesting. Garnet's attack healed him somehow. But there goes Tiamat, destroyer of worlds, multi-headed dragon. Now I feel like we have to be up against the walls to make sure I don't miss some nice weapon. An Iron Giant. Helm Divide always brings you down to 1 health if it hits. But that auto ability is just bringing everybody's health right back up. No problem. Alright, so we fought 2 of the 4 Guardians. Does that mean we're going to fight 2 more? Or does that mean... Did we defeat the one that we fought? Like the one that we fought? Just Zidane and his compatriot? It'll be an interesting thing to find out. We're going up. Okay. Oh. There's a little pot. It doesn't do anything. That's okay. We'll just keep going, I guess. This, the bell reminds me of Vivi, but no one knows where these memories are coming from. They're not commenting on it. What is this? 2 moons colliding. No, they're planets. The moons are also going to collide. That is a picture of Gaia being assimilated by Terra. 5,000 years ago, Terra, already an old planet, sought to assimilate Gaia. Terra needed to merge with a younger planet to survive. So, are you saying that Terra is basically like a Mother Gothel or a, like, evil witch who's just like, I want to be young again. I want to be free. Yes, you did see this on Olvert. And so they tried to do the fusion even though it wasn't ready, and it destroyed effectively everyone on Terra because they were crippling in age. And Garland planted a tree because he needed to bring the souls back. Okay, it's coming together, even though it's a little hazy for me. A little misty, if you will. Stab him again! No, don't do it. I'm frozen. And now it's gonna do crunch. And because Queen is frozen, they'll immediately die. It's kind of like chewing on ice, if you will. Ooh, we've got one of the little orb things. I guess we should use this if we're gonna fight 2 more of those enemies. I'm so glad they feel safe enough to take a nap in the middle of the wilderness. Let's just save inside of a glowing rainbow orb. This kind of looks like Grim Maluk's grotto, but different. We're swimming! But it can't be real, can it? Oh, we're just walking on the ground. Swimming after fish? Zidane, you help catch fish. We already catch frogs, Queeno, for you. You'd have to catch fish. That's because you think we're inside of an ocean. I can breathe fine. We not an ocean? Oop, gravity has taken hold. You're breathing A-okay, Queena. You're breathing A-okay. Okay. So if we come over here, there's a mysterious voice who goes, "Who dares disturb my sleep? Leave at once or you will die." We will come back to this later. It doesn't have to do with Ozma specifically, but we will get around to it. So Gaia used to just be one big ocean. Huh, sounds familiar. He doesn't know, but it's in his memory. And I was born on Terra, not Gaia, so how could it be in my memory? It's in my memory too. Interestingly, it's notable that they're like, okay, let's pull out some characters that are not in your party. We've got to have them talk a little bit. Keep climbing. Is it another guardian? It is another guardian. I am the Water Chaos Kraken. Your presence is forbidden. That's not nice. Okay, this enemy seems to have multiple parts to it. I wonder if I'll be able to hit all of the parts with just one spell. It can't do that much, can it? Explode! Okay, so that right tentacle is down. We just gotta keep it going. And Queena is no longer frozen. I guess it just runs out on its own. Oh my goodness, how funny would it be if Queena just ate the boss? This has always been my opinion. It will continue to be my opinion. Quina should have the ability to eat all enemies, not just ones that either teach you abilities or have the potential to. You're frozen. I should have did another summon, but instead I was like, no, let me throw some energy. But that was enough. It's down. Now it's just a matter of destroying the Kraken. Legs. Oh, Queenie knows how to cast Auto Life. Can I remove? I can blind people, but I cannot force them to be not blind. So I need some eye drops. Couldn't steal anything. That's not good. Give me what you got. Come on, shish kebab it. I'm gonna try to eat it, even though I know I can't. I just think it'll be funny. I know can eat. I mean, out of all of the enemies, this is one of the ones you should definitely be able to eat. I'm just saying. Leg. Okay, that was a massively different set of damage. Goodbye, Kraken. See you never. I wish they gave experience. Now that we've mastered all of our abilities, they kind of have no purpose. Oh, that looks cool. Time is just an illusion, right? We have another opportunity to save with an invisible save point. I feel like I didn't know that these things existed at some point. Is there anything inside the house? Nope, you can just look at the sky. Excuse me. Oh no. Now it makes sense. Okay, so all the areas where he's just like looking up. I just found this out. I never knew this in my whole life, just so you all know. Apparently all of those areas are just for him to look up at the sky. But if you use the square button, like you would on a PlayStation, they are card games. There are people for you to play Tetra Triad at. Tetramaster, not Triple Triad. That's Final Fantasy VIII, I think. Oh, but we're here. We've got to at least give it our best go. I'll just use all of my good items, you know? What's the worst that can happen? I lose? I hate going first, though. Oh, they're very good. Which means I'm not. Oh. Oh no. What to do? I don't know how to play this game effectively. Okay, this is looking good. No! Oh, okay. I'll take it. Oh, that's not good. We win! That never ever happens. Okay, we already have one of those. So I'm taking Boko, the Chocobo. You have over 100. You have to get rid of one? Okay, you don't have to tell me twice. That is so interesting. I literally did not know that those were card challenges. I just thought that they were like a chance for you to just be like, all right, let's take in the scene. Let's take it in. I know some people would probably go on a mission to collect every single card. You know, we have the first card and the last card. I think I'm good. Maybe if they gave a little bit more direction on how it works, I'd be a little bit more willing. That's one big fireball. Could it be a moon? This is the birth of Gaia, the planet you live on. Over 5,000 years ago. And meanwhile, Sedan's like, what's above the ladder? Terra reached the peak of its prosperity at this time. The people believed their future was secure. Ultimately, that very hubris led to Terra's demise. Thus, I was created to deal with our plights. Garland was created by the people of Terra, who in turn created Kuja, who in turn Garland also created Zidane. And it really hasn't been working out for any of them. Anything good around here? A Mace of Zeus. That is also like a really good item. I am the ghost of the card master who controls the dog. Are you challenging me? No. I can't believe Memoria has all these hidden card masters. But that weapon we just picked up is for Vivi. And so, again, not really for our party. Hello? What are we doing in this grand drawing room? Oh. Never mind then. A final guardian. I am the Earth Chaos, known as Lich. I love the inspiration. I live for it. Very clearly, this enemy has the ability to inflict doom status effect. In most Final Fantasy games, you can't protect yourself from doom. That's okay. It's not the end of the world. We have auto life, so we'll just get back up. But once the doom timer runs out, you go down. It's just very simple. It works exactly as described. I guess it's not as bad as long as we don't just randomly start getting ejected. And because Freya went down already, we can have Quina reapply the Doom status effect. Not the auto life status effect, my bad. And also, as the Lich is in fact an Earth elemental, any of its ground attacks are barely going to do anything to us. Now, we're super fortunate that that didn't take us down, but that was level 5 death. So level 5 death basically takes your level, and it divides, and if you get a whole number that doesn't have a, what's the word I'm looking for? A whole number without a remainder, you will instantly die. So, 50, 55, 70, which we were just a few rounds ago. But clearly, we don't have much to worry about when it comes to fighting everybody off. And that is all 4 of our lovely defendants. We found another secret save point, so we'll go ahead and use that. And, does that mean that there's like a cute little item on this side? No. At one of the places, there is supposed to be an item called Excalibur 2, but you can only find it if the game clock is under 12 hours. You have to reach this end point of the game in under 12 hours if you want to be able to get Steiner's ultimate weapon. Your journey is not over. Step forth into the abyss. Go. It's really easy for him to say. But he does it blindly. He just believes. Now, if you don't do anything, like you slowly just rotate around the same space, but you need to actually move up in this segment to be able to go to the next spot. So we're walking, and we're walking along, and we've entered a new realm. There's no more worlds. We're just following our brains. But what is our memory? I think he's trying to say, like, maybe the reason why you can remember experiences and events that aren't part of your own consciousness is because all of our memories are collective. Do not limit memory to just one individual experience from birth. That is only the surface. Every life born into this world, whether natural or artificial, requires a parent, and that parent also requires a parent. Life is connected one to another. This is very like Assassin's Creed mythos lore, where your genetic code is embedded with the history and experiences of your ancestors, so long as you can tap into it. And so apparently Zidane is connected to every other person's memory. A presence that presides all over life and memories. The crystal. Final Fantasy is very big on crystals. Every single one has some form of crystal symbolism in it. And it just took to the end of this game for it to make its appearance. You're on your own now. I'm dying. Take care of your brother and protect the crystal. Golem. Is that the crystal? It's time for us to find out the truth. It's kind of like we're walking on the rings of Saturn. Into the crystal we go. Ooh, it's looking a little tainted in here. A little destroyed. Hello? Oh, we're inside one of the veins of crystal. That's really cool. Hello, is anybody here? Okay, so interestingly, we have the ability to teleport. And the reason for that is basically going through this, if I remember correctly, going through this little portal is effectively the thing that launches the end of the game. I don't know if it's here or if it's a little deeper in, but basically you can't ever do this and then enjoy an epilogue and do whatever else you want. You have to do everything before you enter this area. We can see that we've got this cute little platform, but once I step up here, we're going to start the end of the world events. And we find Kuja still deep in their trance. I'm surprised you beat the 4 chaoses that I created from the crystal's memory. So we did defeat them, but Kuja somehow was able to recreate them. It's the original crystal. This is where it all began, the birthplace of all things. Once I destroy it, everything will be gone. That's very interesting. It's like they took the Big Bang, it was all created by a floating rock. And so naturally Zidane's like, I don't want my world to end. And I'm going to end you right now. And he's like, you honestly think you could beat me? Well, I don't know. According to the Final Fantasy IX gamer guide that I have from 2000, yes, we can in fact beat you. Not just because we have auto life equipped. You don't win either way. We will destroy you. Zidane's very optimistic. Even if the planets do literally impact and implode on one another. Why should the world exist without me? That wouldn't be fair. That's a very narcissistic approach, Kuja. I would think you better of this. If I die, we all die, and you'll be my first sacrifice. Come on, bring it on. Enter the dome spot. I wonder why they chose us to fight on top of a rock as opposed to, excuse me, fighting on top of a crystal. Oh my god. Kuja, why you've grown. Naturally, that's not Kuja. But that is Death Guys. You know, cute little friend of ours. And very clearly a little bit more powerful than I expected. It almost took Freya out. But, you know, not the end of the world. We've still got auto life. And we should be able to take him down. We'll apply a nice little Mighty Guard to make sure. Mighty Guard puts on Protect and Shell, which basically half the damage of physical and magical attacks respectively. Although there are certain things that ignore it. Oop, I got knocked down. It'd be nice if you could eat Death Guys. Come on, take them down. How did they beat my Death Guys? Do you really think you could defeat me? Yes, Kuja. I think you may find us well equipped. Give us a nice little victory moment. No experience, no AP, because this is the end of the game. Interestingly, I can leave. So let's do that. That way when we continue later on, if we want to beat out Kuja twice, you know, once now and once after we defeat Ozma, we can just laugh it off. I was really expecting battle after battle, but I guess not. Alright, Kuja. Meet your destiny. I can't believe you beat Death Guys. Well, my time is almost up. Time to die, everyone! And thus we go into battle against a crazed maniac, who is still wearing a thong, except this time, possibly of his own fur? And you can also see his tail. In, like the spin-off series of Final Fantasy Dissidia, which pits different characters from all the different Final Fantasies against one another, originally for the PlayStation Portable, and then later on, it came onto PS4. A lot of the moves that Kuja uses in these battles make it into Kuja's skill set for that game, and I always thought that was a really cool transition, especially for a character you only get to see battle twice. Not a lot of damage, Garnet, but it's alright. You're a healer for a reason. We've got Mighty Guard up. We are in the gold. See, Flare is the second most powerful spell effectively. I mean, technically Ultima's the number one. But the best spell you can cast is with VV, known as Doomsday. But unfortunately, you can't use Ultima as part of this game. And Doomsday, I believe, actually will hit your characters if you don't have Reflect on. Or maybe that's Meteor. But the good news is we don't really have to concern ourselves too much with it. We also have the ability, even though Kuja has casted Reflect on himself, if we really wanted to, Garnet would still be able to break through because Garnet also has the ability to ignore reflect status effects. Ooh, that one was a lot. And obviously Kuja seems to have the ability to also ignore it. No! Oh, okay, it's just one person. I was like, Queen, please, you have to stay up. You have to be able to eat him. Oh, she's down. Oh, she's up. She's alive. She's dead. She's alive again. He's really going ham right now. Come on, get up. Can we finish him off with a one grand lethal attack? Stop it, I'm just a simple woman. Was that enough? I'm gonna die anyway. I won't have to be afraid anymore. That's a very defeatist attitude of you. Come on, you can do better than that. No, don't take me with you. You know, I get that you're casting Ultima, but Freya isn't here. She's somewhat way above that. You can't hit her, you're not allowed. Oh, the monkey flew off the handle. Koja! Did he destroy it? Did he destroy the crystal? Where is this? You stand before the final dimension, and I am the darkness of eternity. Who are you? All life bears death from birth. Life fears death, but lives only to die. Again, very defeatist. It starts with anxiety. Tell me about it, and every millennial on the planet. Anxiety becomes fear. Fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, and that leads to suffering. The only cure for this fear is total destruction. And Kuja effectively saved himself by killing himself and the crystal. Why are you telling me all of this? The theory is undeniable. Kuja's actions prove it. All things that live are meant to perish. So, you know, for a lot of people, especially the first time they play through Final Fantasy IX, it's very unclear as to what this moment is. But obviously, it seems like something has either been born from that crystal, or there's this other, like, anti-entity that very clearly has been making his observations. Exist for one purpose. It sounds like yet another thing has been created by something else for a job. And very much like in earlier Final Fantasy where they had X-Death, it's like, which is a character's name. It's just like, if we return everything to the void, we can just start over or do nothing. And naturally Zidane is like, absolutely not. I will end you myself. Foolish creature, your fears have already deluded you. One day you will choose destruction over existence as Kuja did. When he sought to destroy the crystal, the purpose of life ended. Now come, enter the zero world that you desire. But I don't desire it, I want to live. And through our memories, future generations will see that we can overcome any fear. Very brave. We have to fight together. Even if we lose, it doesn't matter. Our memories will live on. So even if we are born to die, which is also a Lana Del Rey song, I'm not afraid. I'm gonna live. I'm gonna live forever. So obviously we're gonna fight whatever this large and in charge creature is. Also, like they did multiple times with um, the Beatrix battles, we're all down to one singular health. And why would we switch out any of our characters for this? If not just taking our strongest buddies with us. However, I will just point out one small thing, which is depending on which characters you pick, does affect a little bit of the dialogue that is said. And so these characters that we didn't select are effectively giving some of their vitality to the other characters so that way they can be fully healed for this final battle. And they all get to say a little small something. And obviously Amaranth's like, don't screw it up. Get up, girl. Though I am unworthy, accept my powers. Beautifully created under robe graphics. Modest, practical. Promise me you'll win. And so they all get this cute little one-liner that they get to use. I think it's really adorable. And then fortunately the game is very kind and allows you to go back into your settings and adjust anything that you feel like is really important. We've basically got everything we need, but I'm going to draw your attention very kindly to the Hill of Despair. That's where we are right now. I will fight you and defeat you. Let's just wrap this up and go home. Which is kind of like their cute little line to be like, the people who just gave you their vitality aren't dead. They're just exhausted. Which is why you're not going to have an 8-person battle. Now, where this design comes from, the exact character and all that stuff, that's a mystery. I have no idea. And so we ascend into our very stars. And we must fight Necron. Can I still jump out of the way? It's okay, you can use Holy, I don't mind. Is Holy only a 1-person attack? It is only a 1-person attack. The magic isn't what we need to worry about. It's really more about like the Grand Cross ability. But even then, not really much to worry about. Oh, excuse me. Rude. I think it's time for us to just go on the offensive. I don't even know why I stole anything. It's not like we can use it. The game would refuse otherwise. We'll just speed us up a little bit. So these attacks are doing hardly anything. But this is still a battle. Unlike some Final Fantasies where the game ends and... oop, there it is. There's Grand Cross. This is the thing that can do the most damage, where it summons 8 moons to attack us. It completely took out Dagger, which isn't good. It also applied a lot of status effects to our team here, including making one of our characters mini. So I might need to slow us down just a little bit. And it seems that Quina has the zombie status effect, and therefore that curing attack basically just killed them. And Queena seems to be down for the count. Oh, I just used Phoenix down on a different character. Can I not use it on Queena? Will it not bring her back to life? Yeah, because of the zombie effect, I don't seem to have the ability to bring Queena back up, but maybe with a magic tag. I didn't know you could put items on downed enemies like that. It was really interesting, actually. I'm worried about it using Grand Cross again, because that is gonna bring us down. Also, what's really interesting, when Garnet is in trance and she has the Eidolon ability instead of the summon ability, whatever she summons keeps attacking basically every single turn, even though she's busy doing other things. And we're gonna get hit with Grand Cross again. So even though we're a pretty good level, like typically you want to be around 60, 65, and we're 5 above that. Very clearly, very obviously, there's like a disaster element to this. If you're not like managing expectations with regards to status effects, they can really ruin your whole day. But it seems like we're keeping par. It's not the end of the world. Freya does seem to be a little stuck. So we'll get her resolved real quick. And then maybe we'll get another Mighty Guard in. You got this. It also helps if we use spells and abilities that take up a lot of time, because that means that we'll be able to regenerate health a little bit more. Why defy your fate? And we see that magic energy from earlier. Now, did we really defeat Necron? Is the will to live that powerful? Who teleported us away? Also, was he the whole building? And just like, we only fought part of it? Oh! This is not the end. I am eternal. To me, that speaks, I need a sequel. And although they wouldn't make the first Final Fantasy sequel to a mainline game until Final Fantasy X, I'm still of the agreement that Necron should make a return. Or if they do the remake, like it's rumored to be in the next few years, perhaps they can make Necron have a bigger part. A little bit clearer. The tree is alive! Are you alright? Yeah, but look at what's happening. The Aoife tree is beginning its violent reaction. It doesn't look good at all. I doubt anyone could have survived that explosion. No! Captain! They are still alive. What? They're right there. She's got really good eyesight. You, the tall one. I didn't ask for your name. Contact the Hildegard right away. Yes, sir. Ma'am, sir. Please be alive. Sire, we're receiving a transmission from the Red Rose. Punch it up to the main line. This is the Red Rose. You're not General Beatrix. Who are you? My name is Mikoto. Everyone's alive. You are very close to them. How do you know? Oh, okay, so she doesn't have great eyesight. She has great hearing. Prepare to land immediately. Aye, aye, sir. We're coming. That's the Hildegard 3. It got built. Sid. Thank heavens you're all safe. Come quickly, we don't have much time. The tree is in agony. Farewell, Zidane. Ah, damn it. What's wrong? Why don't you go on ahead? I'll catch up with you all later. I have to take care of something. See, miscommunication. Just be truthful. Just share. He's still alive. He can't be. Steiner, take care of Dagger. What? What do you mean by that? Guja's still alive. I can't just leave him. This is ludicrous. Is that spelled correctly? I don't know. Just because you're from the same planet? No, that's not the reason. Why are you doing this? Because I might have done the same thing if I were in his shoes. He could have been the angel of death himself. He could have brought down the destruction of Gaia. I know it sounds crazy, but I know deep down I have to do this. You're not crazy. But you go help Kuja, not good idea. It's too dangerous. I can't just leave him. There's no way I could live with myself. You're making a big mistake. Maybe, but we all have to make big decisions in life sometimes. For me, now is that time. It's time to confront your fears. Oh, relating it to the child. I don't know about that. I don't think it was really a big deal. That's what you think, but I might not be doing this if it weren't for you. Wow, he grew up at the worst time. The principle of knighthood requires that one assist his comrade in times of need. I shall accompany you. Naturally, the two knights would immediately try to step up and step in. This line, I wouldn't say it's identical, but in Final Fantasy X, like there's this like very classic line, like this is my story, and this is Zidane saying this is my moment. Like there's no one else to tell it. I'm doing this. Besides, you have whole civilizations to think about. I can't just walk away. It goes against my nature. Although you did, in fact, walk away from us earlier. You're a real simpleton. Get on board right now. The only person making any sense. Get out of here before it's too late. A declaration of love. I need to eat more different food. I'm still hungry. You need to come back. Take me more places. Show me more food. You've really changed. You've grown up. If only. If only you... People always grow up at the best and worst times ever. Princess, we need to go. No words? The abduction is over. I can take you no further. I'm sorry for being so selfish. You're not being selfish. You've done so much for us. If it weren't for you, I probably led a meaningless life. I saw the world. I saw the places I was meant to be. We faced hardships, but I know what's important inside my heart. I'm so fortunate to have met you, and I will never forget our time together. Thank you. She reverts back to her queenly self. But has she said what's truly on her mind? What is in her heart? Please come back. I didn't hear I promise. Oh, I'd be devastated too, girl. It's just not gonna, just never ends well when it ends well. Kuja, can you hear me? I'm coming to get you. You still have time. Forget about me and go. Wow, a selfless word. A selfless word. I don't understand you. No one does. No one really understands. Here I come. Okay, that scene right there, like that specific little moment, that's the actual graphics for this game. It seems like that was this is one of the only events that hasn't been fully uptouched by the Magari mod. Like the Zidane model is. But, oh my goodness. It just makes you think, you didn't make it! Oh, he's Tarzaning it out of here. I'm doing so great. At least you didn't have to run. Make nature work for you, not against you. Run! This is like a callback to like Evil Forest, when we were kind of like running and hiding behind everything. No. Hi, Kuja. Bye, Kuja. That hurt. Phew, still alive. I guess that was pretty sick and stupid of me. Absolutely, 100%. It looks like the bottom of the Aoife tree, the deepest that the roots can go. Hey, are you alright? Oh, Zidane. What are you doing here? I told you to go. Wouldn't you do the same for me if you knew I was dying? Eddie's like, no, I would not. Your comrades were able to escape? Yeah, I knew you had something to do with it. I'm glad they made it. So, if you're paying attention, right, when Kuja had originally abducted us and had built a teleporter to get on the Hildegard 1, when we were going to go get the Gulag Stone, the teleport magic was identical. Come on, we can still make it, even though you're covered in dirt. I don't deserve to live after what I've done. I'm useless to this world. No one's useless, which is true. No one is useless. After you guys beat me, I had nothing left, nothing more to lose. And then I finally realized what it means to live. Not to get completely morbid, but I read something once where these people were doing, the thing that caused them not to live anymore, off of a large architectural thing known as a bridge. And apparently every single person that had survived that moment, all were like, in those moments of thinking that it was the end, they realized that the thing in their life that caused them to that moment was like, there's still a way out, and this wasn't it. And I feel like that's what's being spoken about right here between these two little boys. You're never too late. Wake up. Wake up, you skinny king. It's coming for us. No. And there it is. There's the end of our protagonist. You didn't deserve what came to you, but it happened. Kuja, what you did was wrong. I guess this is Makoto voicing it. But you gave us all one thing. Hope. We were all created for the wrong reason, but you alone defied our fate. We do not want to forget this. We want your memory to live on forever. And so it shall, to remind us that we were not created for the wrong reason, and that our life has meaning, like all of ours do. And so we cut to some time later. We do in fact get an epilogue to at least learn what became of some of our family. Hello, Vivi. With a ticket. But you should know. Multiple tickets? Pick up the pace, will ya? Puck! I don't believe it, Vivi. Vivi? Question mark. How do you know that name? What are you talking about? It's me, Puck. How could you forget me? Puck. You know, Puck. The Prince of Bermesia. Oh, come on, what's wrong with you? If you're not Vivi, then who are you? I'm Vivi's son. Dum 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 dum. Eow! Look at all the Vivis. So somehow, some way, I always talked about you, Zidane, how you were a very special person to us because you taught us all how important life is. Freya, you're leaving soon, are you not? Yes, I can hardly wait to see everyone. It seems that Freya did connect back with Sir Fratley, at least in some regard. But have they rekindled their romance? How long will it take to rebuild Bermesia? I don't care, as long as I am with you. Aw, they did. I love you, Freya. Yet he still doesn't remember our past. I just want to cherish our time right now. It's very true. Live in the moment. You taught me that life doesn't last forever. That's why we have to help each other and live life to the fullest. It's time to say goodbye to this room. Save the Queen, you have served me well. A unique weapon only equipable by Beatrix. Just knowledge dumping whenever I can. My duty is finished here. Farewell, Alexandria. Where's she going? If you're not General, where are you going? I need a sequel just about Beatrix and whatever she decided to do. I don't even care if it's a farming sim. Even Amarant seems to have cared. And that bridge has never been fixed. Why are you going to Alexandria? Asked Lonnie the bounty hunter. You're not going? Red-headed Chin Man said. I never said that. Hey, wait. I never claimed to be a voice actor. Why was I born? How I wanted to live. Thanks for giving me time to think. Guina, you're in the Alexandria kitchen. Good food, not only delicious. Good food made with heart. I'll consider it character development. This is very important when cooking for friends. Especially since all you ate was raw frog. To keep doing what you set your heart on, it's a very hard thing to do. We were all so courageous. Hurry! Hurry! We gotta get there before the play begins. There's no need to hurry. The theater ship is no match for my new ship. My new Hildegard is the fastest ship ever. Do I have to remind you? You said the same thing about the theater ship. Ahem. That's what you said, Father? Aiko, what did you just call me? Darling, she called you Father. Father? Mother? Hurry! Say it again, Aiko. Say it again! What to do when I felt lonely. That was the only thing you couldn't teach me. But we need to figure out the answer for ourselves. And clearly Aiko found her own family. Probably one that she pushed on them, but still. Beatrix, where are you going? Please don't ask. My mind is already set. Wait, listen to me. I never wish to lose you again. Steiner, let us protect the Queen together. Oh, and she ran into his arms. I'm so happy I've met everyone. I wish we could have gone on more adventures, but I guess we all have to say goodbye someday. Oh my goodness. All right, you scumbags, we're almost there. Been a long time since we saw Alexandria. Let's give them a show they won't forget. Yeehaw! Break a leg, people. Everyone, thank you. Farewell. I think that one's supposed to be Zidane speaking. My memories will be part of the sky. Steiner by the Queen's side as always. And apparently Beatrix, convinced into remaining enlisted. The theater ship will arrive any minute. It's been so long. Clearly you've been coronated. You are effectively now a queen. But nobody has seen or heard. And it'll never be the same. Zidane, where are you? I have to let go of the past. I have to move on, just like he taught me, for the future of your kingdom. Clearly, enough time has passed that she rebuilt the castle, for the most part. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's performance is a story that takes place long, long ago. Our heroine, Princess Cornelia, is torn from her lover Marcus. She attempts to flee the castle, only to be captured by her father, King Leo. Tonight's story begins when Marcus and Cornelia decide to run away together. And now, Your Royal Majesty Queen Garnet, Lord Steiner, Lady Beatrix, noble ladies and lords, and our rooftop viewers, Tantalus proudly presents I Want to Be Your Canary. Only thieves would be so dramatic to set up a theater troupe. Marcus! Sweet Marcus, I feel I love thee more than I should. Princess... Oh, this is a different voice. Princess, Wilt thou be happy, married to a lowly peasant such as I?
Prithee thee, call me princess no more. Marcus, wilt thou cherish me, the king's only daughter? Or is it such a desire too dear to wish for? After our nuptials, shall I become no more than a puppet? A mindless puppet, never to laugh, never to cry. I wish to live my life under the sky. At times I shall laugh, at others cry. For no life is more insincere than the lived as a masquerade.
So much consideration thou hast given it, but worry not. Cast away thy trappings of royalty, and I shall swaddle thee in a gown of pure love. Never again will I part from thee. Pray, my love, make me thy canary, to keep forever in the cage of thy bosom. Let us embark on the first ship tomorrow, before dawn can tell of our elopement.
All my fortunes at thy foot I lay, and I shall follow thee throughout the world.
No cloud, no squall shall hinder us. Final Fantasy VII and 8's protagonist names.
Oh, love is the sweetest joy and the wildest woe. All I wish is to be by my sweet Marcus's side.
Fie! It shall be war again, unless this marriage is stopped. Ne'er will I let their plan come to fruition. Good day to ye, Highness.
Good day.
Wist thee of Marcus? Marcus? What news dost thou bring? This! Just taken out. The time for our departure is long past. Where is Cornelia? Marcus, the ship embarks soon. Board ye the boat alone, and peace could come to both kingdoms, as Blank said. Speak, Marcus. She told me that she couldn't not live without me. So the sun is our enemy too. The eastern sky grows bright. Will we not spread our wings as yonder birds enjoys flight? Hark, Marcus, they cannot wait any longer. The ship departs. Could she have betrayed me? Nay, ne'er would my love speak false. I must have faith. She shall appear if I only believe. As the sun lends me no ear, I pray instead to the twin moons. I beseech thee, wondrous moonlight, grant me my only wish. Bring my beloved dagger to me. He lives. She can't hardly believe her eyes. Were they in on it? The eyeliner stayed on point. After you, my queen. Push. You can make it. Go. Run. I'd be in broken tears. Her symbol of office. She cannot. Love is her defining factor. She is strong, she is powerful, she is grace. And how she has missed him. He's like, yeesh, don't cry on me. And she's like, you were supposed to come back. But I'm here now. A new ballad, one of love, one of grace. And our love story asks the question, how did you survive? I didn't have a choice. I had to live. I wanted to come home to you. It gets me every time. I'm gonna tear up a little bit. So I sang your song. The one she sang so much. Our song. It's interesting how like they updated the text through the Magari mod and it was so condensed in that one moment. A civilization rebuilt, a love story rekindled. And thus we reach our wonderful um, conclusion with regards to our story. You know, they all went through some pretty traumatic times, and yet they all came out the greater for it because they did it together. And um, I think there are many themes in every Final Fantasy game, but I think that's the main one for this one. Um, so, you know, when we talk about Final Fantasy IX, like, it really did come full circle. They even thematically returned it back to a theater presentation, although, of course, the entire events are real. Um, and even there's like a Shakespeare reference in there too. We can see a few different animated scenes from the start of our game here. Um, you know, Zidane walking in and you getting first control of the character, Vivi showing up to Alexandria for the first time, and seeing the theater ship. It's just a very sweet coming home, also celebrating all of the people that worked on the game through the credits. Interestingly, for some reason, I'm not really sure why, but after you beat the game, you unlock a new button on the home screen. And it's not more content. It's not like, oh, there's like a way to rewatch the final cinematic, or, you know, here's how you can play the original soundtrack or anything like that. What's really super interesting is that they just added the ability for you to play blackjack, or like 21, depending on where you are and what you call it. Um, and for some reason, that's just built into the game. Maybe they used it to test out like not character, like movements on the controller or something like that. Maybe they use it for like a subsystem. Very unclear. Not very sure why. Um, but it's there. You can play it whenever you want now because you beat the game. Um, and so there's a whole choice in it all. I think that this is also a good time to just point out that, um, you know, we played through Final Fantasy IX just now. We played through it specifically with the Magari mod, which truly really made this game even more beautiful than it was, um, and is. So I gotta just keep calling it out because it really does make a beautiful difference between the way the game is supposed to look and what it became. Um, while the stuff in the background goes through the credits, I figured I would just give you a quick peek again. Um, this is what the game is supposed to look like in its original PC port, and this is how they fixed it. So you can see that there's like a massive shift. There's a vibrance of colors and things like that. And if you loved hanging out and going through this game together, um, you know, there might be some good news on the horizon. Supposedly, allegedly, um, Final Fantasy IX will be remade. I don't know how true that is. I don't know if it'll actually happen. But there seems to be a lot of suggestion that there will. NVIDIA, the graphic card maker, accidentally back in like I want to say late 2022 had a leak for games that they were building drivers to support, and so one of those on the list was Final Fantasy IX, like as a remake, and there were a whole bunch of other games on there that were listed that also made its way onto the list that have officially come out or been announced. But in the meantime, as a way to get a fix for me personally, is the Memoria project. This is another thing I'll put up on screen. But basically, a fan group, really dedicated individuals that love this game as much as I do, as much as some other people that, stuck with us for this journey. Like they're creating a non-playable of like remake of the game in parts. They're not making it to sell. They're not making it to make a profit. It's really just to see what could new age, new generation video game design do for a game. And so, they're all working together to make, what we've seen, what we've done on the Unreal 5 engine. And so you can see that things look really like spiffy. It looks really great. And, they've modeled these characters. This is my favorite, the petting of the chocobo. And so it's just really cool to see what a potential remake could look like. Also, they came out with some new like videos. This one makes a really cool like virtual background. And on YouTube, literally few days ago, June 2023, they released a 25-minute long video of that playable section in Final Fantasy IX where you play as Vivi walking through Alexandria and you get to see all of the cute different little things. So the fact that somebody went out of their way to do that, I think is super awesome. I also think it's really cool that you could remake it. And so hopefully we'll see where it goes and how far it gets. People were joking around that, at the end of this, gameplay demo trailer, remember it's not playable, but like it is technically a game that they made. Like it would just say like releasing 2025 and like the Square Enix logo would come up. But to my knowledge, they're not linked together. There's no official presence from Square Enix on this project, but it just is really awesome what it looks like, and I think that's super cool. So yeah, that in its entirety is Final Fantasy IX. We made it through in 9 sessions in around, I think, what were we at? 28, 38 hours? 28 hours. You can technically beat the game in less than 12. I don't know how you do that, but some people can. And although this is the end of the playthrough, it's not the end of today, as we still have a few other things to do. One of the things that we still need to do is we need to go ahead and attempt to beat the Superboss, Ozma, as well as just explore a little bit some more. There's some endgame content that we can really have a lot of fun with. So let's load back in. And as you can see here on the side, there's now a credits button, but we also have this little spade symbol. It actually showed up before when we were loading in through the walkthrough because I have beaten the game before. I think it also might show up by default when you have the Magari mod on. But this lets you play, for whatever reason, Blackjack. There is no epilogue, so we do need to load back to right before we beat Kuja, but that's okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to teleport us out of here. Brings us right back to the entrance. And I'm going to take us to where Ozma is. And hopefully, if we're lucky, we might be able to defeat them on the first go-round. But honestly, my expectations are not high at all. Ozma is a super boss for a reason. There's a reason why they're a tough cookie to crack. Part of the battle is also finding out where we need to go. And so we're going to just drop down right here and call Choco to our side, because we do need to be on Choco when we find the area that takes us to the Sky Garden. So I'll set us up with a separate save here, and we will take flight. Okay, get on, get into flight. Now, if I remember correctly, and I will take no shame in this, I will gladly look it up if I need to. The Air Chocobo Garden can be found in a few different spaces in the game, so we'll actually have to check out a few different locations in order to find the area that we're going up. It'll be denoted or marked by an area here in the game where on the map it won't show up, but oh, it seems to be over there. The game has given us a hint. But it'll be marked by, a dark black circle hovering and kind of moving a little bit over the ground. So let's see. It's right here. And if we align ourselves a little bit on top of it and eat a dead pepper, Choco freaks out and flies up into the sky. We can see that there's these two main areas. One has Mene on it, which is, of course, our friend that helps us do all of the Chocobo Hot and Cold games. But back here, up on the little, platform, there's a little question mark. And that question mark is going to be what looks like an Eidolon cave. And Mene, as many games do when you're about to fight a super boss, kind of give you a chance to be like, hey, like maybe you don't want to do this. But you can examine it anyway. And then Mene's like, I really don't think you should. But if you're going to, like, at least let us allow you to prepare, which I think is always a great thing. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to have a great time fighting them the first go round. But I'm going to equip our little pumice pieces. I'm going to give it our best shot, and we'll see what happens. This is Ozma, Superboss extraordinaire. And I'm not sure why the background is black. You're normally fighting it on something else. And this might take us out right away. Meteor has the chance to do 99,999 damage, just like it did for some of the characters. They're going to slowly get up. And this could be a very tough battle. Interestingly, we're already down. So one of the interesting things to note is that anytime you're about to go, Ozma gets to go first. It doesn't matter what you do, Ozma goes first. And so really can take you out super quick. The battle's over. There's a reason why Ozma is in fact a super boss. It's not meant to be easy. The other thing is you'll notice that none of the attacks that I went and did worked. And the reason for that is because Ozma actually won't allow you to physically attack it unless you've done the friendly side quest. The friendly, enemy side quest. So if you might have recalled or seen before, or even in your own playthrough, that there are certain enemies in the game, and I put enemies in quotation marks here, where they ask for something, like, give me ore, give me an emerald, give me whatever it is. And when you do that, when you give the creature what you want, you get a little something for it. You usually get AP or whatever. But that's actually a secret side quest that isn't marked in the game. Just like this creature here is technically a friendly creature who quizzes you on things that you do. We've only gotten some of his questions right. So here we're looking for the last friendly creature. I've actually found all of them, I believe. And we're looking for this guy, the little Yan. Unfortunately, this island, which is known as Evil Island, is it's probably one of the toughest places of battle. And we are looking for the singular friendly Yan. Um, and so we might need to, take a peek and look around to see where we can find somebody who's friendly. When we find the Yan, it will only work if we found all of the other creatures, which is kind of a downside, right? If we don't find the other creatures, we are going to have a tough time. Because the Yan will run away. It'll just be like, you haven't met everybody else. Goodbye. And before you have the chance to do anything at all, it just departs. The game's kind of teasing me a little bit right now because every time I see just one Yan, I always think it's the friendly Yan. But you can fight up to 4 of them in battle. And they're very easy to die against, even at max level. When we find the friendly Yan, we'll also have the ability to physically hit Ozma, though you can technically beat out Ozma without it. It's just a lot harder. So this is the friendly Yan. You can see that it is a lot different than its opponents. And it didn't run away, which means that this Yan, in fact, is satisfied that we've met all of the other friendly creatures. The Yeti, the Nymph, the, Jabberwocky. And so as we give the Yan the most precious of gemstones, a diamond, which we got from the previous, he says, now you can reach the round guy. Which means that in battle, we can physically hit Ozma. Another thing that we can do to kind of prep us to fight Ozma is something that happens back in Memoria. So I'm actually going to head back to the airship, and I'm going to speed us to that area in the game where I was like, oh, this question mark? Like, we'll get to it in a hot minute. Because that's part of this too. And so if we just head on back to good old Memoria, I'm gonna turn on no encounters for right now. And we're just gonna head on up to that area in the game. I think we'll save first though. Come on, you can do it, game. We also have 250,000 gil, which isn't bad. Although we really don't have much to buy. Now it's unfortunate because we don't have a mithril sword, which means we can't make the best armor for Freya, but I digress. It's just not available on disc 4 at all. Okay, so we're catching up. We're trying to get to the area with the water where Queen almost choked. So we're running and running and running. And we're almost there. Almost. And I think it's the next screen. Oop, next screen. Okay. And so here, in this back area, there was a little question mark or a little exclamation point. And this voice is like, who dares disturb me? And if you ignore it, you actually go into a battle. And who else would you fight? Just in the middle of nowhere than the guard to the underworld himself, but Hades. If you defeat Hades, you actually will unlock a special shop. This shop is what's going to give us access to a few different things. There'll be some items that we can get that you normally can't get from other areas. There is there's also the pumice pieces. So we've talked about the pumice pieces earlier, where you collect them, but they're a part you need in order to get the last summon for Garnet, the ability to use that. And so Hades is the only person in the entire game, the only synthesis shop that has the ability, the function, if you will, to be able to put the pumice pieces together, which will enable you to summon Arc. Hopefully we are strong enough to defeat Hades. We do have Mighty Guard on. It is hitting us with the same spell that that Ozma used on us before, Curse, which adds a bunch of different status effects. But that's okay. It's not the end of the world. And in fact, Quina has Angel Snack, which basically uses Remedy on all of the party members. So we should be okay. It's just a matter of keeping the energy going. For our Ozma fight, we might also remove the function of auto life. It seems to be that in general, auto life is not part of the recommended process, and that's okay. Another thing we have to be really careful on is that Ozma knows level 5 death, and so we don't want any of our characters to have a multiple of that. But what we do want is we want at least one character to be a multiple of 4, because although it is intended to hit every party member, Ozma casts level 4 Holy, and it will of course only affect that one party member then, and Holy's a pretty small attack. So here's Hades is telling you, I'm the only person who can create something from pumice pieces. I can create the pumice, and that's what we're going to do. He also can create a pumice piece out of a pumice and a hammer, although why you would want to do that, it's unclear. You can also create the Save the Queen, but none of the characters, as shown below, can you actually do that with. And so it's a nice little bragging item to have. It's that item that only Beatrix can equip. It's really for completionists, you know. You can create other things in here, like the Robe of Lords. We will make one of those because it's a better item for Quina. But Garnet already has it equipped. And we're going to go ahead and, you know, make that pumice piece. So in our inventory, we now have the pumice piece, and you can see that, you know, every character knows all of their abilities, except for Garnet. She's the only person that doesn't, and Quina, we haven't eaten everything under the sun. But this area right here is blank next to Bahamut, and that's because Dagger actually knows, will learn how to create or how to summon the last piece, Arc. A lot of people miss this, and a lot of people don't know how to get the pumice pieces necessary to be able to create Arc. You get one of the pumice pieces basically from the Chocobo playthrough, and then you get another one of the pieces from another action. I actually don't even recall. So now we're just going to make our way out. I think forward is the best way out, which is just to get to that teleport block that we have right before we fight Kuja. Up we go. In we go. Around we go. And here we are in the crystal world. Oop, I went backwards by accident. Doop, 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 doop. All right, and here we're back at the beginning. So we can teleport to the entrance and we can make our way out. So far we've finished the game. We have beat out Hades. And the last thing we're going to try to do is we're going to try to, you know, beat out Ozma. Now, it's not going to be easy, but it's certainly something we can do now that we've got kind of what we needed. Before we go and do that, though, I'm just going to show y'all the summon for Arc. And so because this is the first summon, it should also show up in full scale. Arc's also a really good summon to use because it's a long one, and so therefore the characters will continue to regenerate health. If you remember from our time in Oliver, we also fought Arc, and so it's one of those moments where you see something and you can actually get it. I think the entire Arc animation, from like having Garnet step up to summon it to it actually making its attack, is like a full minute, minute and a half. I don't think it makes it to 2, but effectively you're summoning something like a Gundam or like a Power Ranger Zord or like a Transformer. Very clearly inspired. It's got this big lance, and what it does is it just summons out an entire glyph to effectively decimate with shadow energy all of these beams of light. Ta-da! Pa! And then, of course, you've got to go a little extra. You've got to hit it with the 1-2 whammy blast. I'm adding my own sound effects. And clearly this strike is so strong that it caused an entire part of the planet to be hit, but yet, even though that's what we did, it still only does 10,000 minus 1. There isn't a way to break the damage limit in this game, which is a little unfortunate, because we would in fact benefit from that quite a bit. But it just doesn't happen. Zidane, Freya, and Quina are all multiples of 4. However, that might not be in our best interest, but we'll see what happens. One of the few things we want to do is we want to prepare what we're going into battle for, and so auto reflect is kind of like a must. If we can get some of these status effects, that also can be really helpful. It seemed like those were 2 really big ones that we need. Reflect Null is going to be important because all of our teammates are going to in fact have the reflect status on. So we need Dagger to still be able to cast magic through that. Let's see, what else can we chip off? I'm not sure if we need auto float, but I'll leave it on for right now. We'll also equip some more of these covers. Auto life's gonna go, level up comes off. And maybe, hopefully, that's enough. But we won't know unless we try. I think we can also take off accuracy plus and give Freya just a little bit more. So can't guarantee we'll decimate Ozma on this next attempt. But worst case scenario, I have a nice, easy little quicker way of defeating Ozma. Might not be totally legit, but it counts. I believe we also saw the Air Garden move, so it's here now. That's okay. We have plenty of dead peppers. Hello. Wait! I feel a strange presence. Examine. And we're just going to take off the speed up and say go. When we tried to physically attack Ozma before, it would say out of reach. And although nothing has actually changed visually in this battle, we can now effectively hit it. Whether we'll survive all of Ozma's attacks are also a different story. And I also realized we didn't equip Queena's things, but that's okay. I'm gonna heal everybody back up a little bit to maintain, our status quo. A move that will work on Ozma that can come to our benefit is Queena has the ability to cast a spell called Defenseless, which can bring it down. We're only doing about 3,000, which really isn't great. And the problem with that is it's not gonna do much for us. What you also just saw is Reflect in action. So Ozma can cast spells like Blind. It can cast spells like Mini to make us small. But all of those spells will reflect back on Ozma. Ozma also, for whatever reason, is technically weak against being blinded, although it doesn't technically use any physical attacks. But it's something to just note because it is an option. Now, will Doomsday take us out? Possibly. We don't have auto life on anymore. And so we might want to have Queena do that if we live. We might not. We're probably dead right now. What happened? Oh, we are still living gold. So that's good. Now, why cast Blind on Ozma if we're just going to, if it's not going to make a difference in its ability to attack? Great question. Well, one of those reasons is because Ozma will waste a turn healing itself. It will ensure that we get a chance to do something else and be able to attack it. The real issue, the real problem with fighting Ozma is the fact that it heals itself. And so that is something we have to concern ourselves with. It is going to cast level 4 Holy, which isn't great, but it could be worse. It did hit us, but it's, again, not the end of the world. We're actually doing pretty good. Maybe we'll try to use Thievery. Maybe that'll do more damage. What's also really interesting is that although Queena uses magic per se, blue magic doesn't seem to be affected by the auto reflect that all of our characters have on them. And I mistakenly, like an idiot, just cast auto life on a character that already has it. So not a good sign. But that's okay. Worse things have happened. We still have Dagger, who has the ability to, who still has auto life on. And hopefully, okay, maybe not. We have not added enough status protections to prevent our characters from basically tweaking out. We need things like clear-headed to avoid them from being confused, because otherwise this happens. Dagger also seems to be poisoned, and so that's obviously not working in her best benefit either. And there she goes. It's also very unfortunate that they just healed themselves. And clearly, uh, Ozma's going ham. You know, Doomsday is going to take us out, and it's over. We've been annihilated. One of the things we can do um, to help us out a little bit is, well, A, to think through the battle a little bit more. But also on top of that, make sure our characters are ready and equipped with the things that they need. Um, One of those things that we can do is go into our menu and make sure that everybody has equipped what they need. Um, so, you know, we know that we can put the robe of lords on these two characters. It makes them a little faster, makes them have a little bit more strength. We can check out what items might be best to have on there. So we can see that for Freya, wearing the Pearl Rouge actually gives a defense to holy damage. For the pumice piece, it really isn't going to do much for us. So we want to go ahead and switch that to something that's a little bit more beneficial, if there is anything at all. We can see the extension brings up some stuff. That could be helpful. We can see the protect ring is going to be good. It also makes all elemental damage reduced by 50. That seems like a good idea. And for the ribbon, it seems that we can absorb a lot of energy or reduce things by half. So that might be something we want to do too. Now, in the case with the Pearl Rouge, like if we had another ribbon, I would say, okay, we should use that instead. But it doesn't seem like we do, which is okay, not the end of the world. But we'll just keep it coming. We also want to double confirm that everybody has their items on like they're supposed to. I'm gonna take off auto float. I didn't see a reason why we would need it. However, there's entirely the possibility that Ozma's programming enables them to like kind of be a lot more intelligent than your typical enemy. And so there's a possibility that it just knew that it wouldn't affect anybody and therefore didn't use it. I don't think we need sleep, but and I don't know if it petrifies, but it seems like stop might be a thing. We've got everything kind of on lock. Maybe we'll take off counter because we really need some of these other abilities, like to prevent sleep and freeze and heat. If we had more, some people call them crystals or gems. If we had more of these like ability options, we might even be able to go ahead and equip, you know, auto life at a higher level. Like if we're 99, we probably could equip that. We might also would want to consider something like, you know, restore HP. Auto potion apparently is like a good idea. Like the way you would do it is you would get rid of all of your regular potions, and basically every time a character gets hit, one of the other characters is like triggered to use a potion on that person, and it doesn't count as a turn. That's something we could consider, but I don't actually know if it's going to help us at all. But we'll see. So, you know, we'll go into battle and we'll see what happens. We'll also find out if float matters. And I guess the game has decided to load the area correctly, unlike the first time. The spiritual power raised the attack range. That's the thing from the Yan. It's already starting with Doomsday. Let's see. The characters are not confused anymore, which is a win. But it seems like some of our characters are still blind. Some of them are still dying. Sometimes it is just a mixed bag, though, with fighting fighting Ozma. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Clearly, we did something wrong. It might not have been the auto float, but it could have been. Another thing we can try is we can hop out of the garden here, and we can go do some level raising, which is another option to do. We can also go back to some of our previous areas and try that. One of the best places to level up is Vile Island. So it's that place we were before. Might not be the best of our options, but it might be something to consider. And so we can run around and give that a go. Like here we've got 2 Yans. They're not looking great. Now the downside with fighting the Yans is kind of like this snort ability. It removes a character from battle and therefore they don't get any experience. It's kind of like a big downside of why you wouldn't want to be here on Vile Island. But if we got it, we got it. Another thing we can do is we can go and check out all of the frogs. So interestingly, for each of the Q marshes, we love that it healed. For each of the Q marshes, there are different frog ponds. And the frog ponds actually fill up interestingly. See, because they got rid of all the other characters, it counts as a loss, a death, which is very unfair. It just doesn't make any sense. Another reason why you might not want to train on Vile Island. We can always do Memoria. It's not a big deal. But we'll need the airship for that. Excuse me, Invincible, where are you hiding? Okay. Doop, 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 doop. We definitely need antibody, clear head, and bright eyes for our characters. Those are the abilities that enable them to, survive. And so now you can join me on this journey of grinding. I might also need to update their abilities once more, just because they're now susceptible to all these moves, like freeze and stuff like that. And down you go. The other thing is, like, we really want to avoid any of our characters being that multiple of 5, because then it's going to make them susceptible to the death spell. So I think what we're going to do is we'll alternate between this and that, between this and checking out our lovely area of different... I just got confused for no reason just then. Our different areas for the frogs. Some of these abilities take up a lot of space. But that's okay, we need them right now, and it's not going to make much of a difference. Doop, 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 doop. Another thing that we could potentially poison our benefit is um, making sure that our characters' transmeters are like high up. It doesn't really matter per se for uh, Queena. It doesn't, it doesn't matter a lot, I would say, for Garnet. But if we can keep Freya up in the air, that gives us a character that isn't constantly being bombarded. And, Zidane having his dying ability gives us a really great chance at using just Grand Lethal over and over and over. Ozma, although is level 99 and obviously very powerful, doesn't actually have a lot of health. In total, it has, I believe, 55,000 health. So if our characters can hit off 5 times, I think it's, no, 6 times. If they can hit off 6 attacks at near 10,000, then the battle's over. The problem is, which I think seemed a little obvious when we were fighting Ozma, is that it's very fast. Ozma actually has its own ATB bar, but whenever a character goes and clicks a command, like I just clicked 3 commands just then, it automatically fills up the bar. It doesn't have to wait ever, and often it gets priority first. So with that priority, it's always having a chance to do Doomsday, it's always having an ability to do something else like that. Potentially a strategy, although, there are some people who have kind of perfected the method. Potentially one of the strategies is to have Queena do Mighty Guard, have Garnet blind it, and then between Freya and Zidane doing damage, it's possible that in a few turns you could bring him down. Not guaranteed, of course, because that meteor attack can and will do 99,999 damage. But it's not always an assured thought. And these enemies are kind of now just, child's play because we're immune to most of their status effects. Except you can't be immune, for whatever reason, to virus. Which will prevent our character from leveling up, which we hate. We also might want to take a look at just what her role specifically is going to be. This tiger racket's really the best thing for her, even though Whale Whisker is supposed to be like this legendary item. Come on, you can do it. Come on, keep it going. Queenia Trance means nothing. Although it does technically increase your stats a little bit. Knock him out! Can you eat him? You cannot eat him. Oh, well, I mean, technically he is an iron golem, so I totally understand that. What we're going to do now is we're going to take a break from the level up cycle. Although we still need to get Dagger out of the danger zone. And we are going to just do a quick lap of the different Q gardens. And the reason for that is because with each frog you get, the frog drop ability gets stronger. It's irrelevant to other stats or defensive boosts. And so there's like a very small possibility that we can also do a lot of damage with Quina that way after doing all the support magic. So far we've caught 63 frogs, which isn't bad. And now we've got 65. Also, when you reach 99 frogs, which can be really good for you, when you've reached 99 frogs, Master Quail will come back, who used to give us different rewards at different times. And he will say, you know, there's nothing more I can teach you. Like, you are officially a gourmand. Like, you're on your own, basically, bro. Like, you just gotta live your life and eat the best foods whenever you can. Then he'll say, but in order to make sure you've got what's going on, we're gonna battle. And so you have to survive a battle with our good friends. What's also really interesting is that whoever created this frog minigame, like, really cared about how this game works, because there's actually like a mechanism that does like breeding of the frogs. So you might be wondering, okay, well, Damiano, why aren't you catching these two adult frogs? And that's because these two adult frogs have a chance to mate. One's male, one's female. But if I catch them, it's going to slow down how fast more frogs in this little, I almost called it a neighborhood, in this marsh, in this swamp, regroup. And we really need the ability to have them grow up and be ready for harvesting effectively, to be able to get that drop ability, the frog drop ability, from being like super powerful. I think we missed a marsh. I know that there's one over here, but there are 4 in total. Oh, we do not need to go over there. The marsh is always north of the initial zone. Okay, I'm seeing 2 adult frogs. Come on, little buddy. Just think how much longer this takes when you're playing at a slower speed. Come back here, please. I'm just asking to check your gender. Male. And now I need the other one. You! I think technically they're visually different, but yeah, male, female. So we're going to let them live their life, and hopefully they'll create more tadpoles, and those tadpoles will grow up. It's mildly time-based, and so that will affect our ability to get everything that we need. Here's the other Q marsh that we didn't go to. We did not go to this one. Hello? There are frogs. There are 2 frogs. They are baby frogs. So we'll just catch them. So there's no frogs here, so it is going to take a moment for them to be able to come back. But so far we know that there's about 10 frogs at the other locations, so we're kind of in the thick of it. We'll head on back to Memoria, and we'll continue to level up. Ideally, I guess what we're looking for, and what I think we should do, is we should put the level up ability back on. And so that might mean we have to change some things. Level up ability being one of them. But that's okay. It's not the end of the world. We also want to turn the Master Thief ability on. Zidane's ability to steal things can come really in handy when used correctly. The reason why I say this is because the Thievery ability, that last ability on the list that also teaches Grand Lethal, has the function where the more you steal, the better your score. the more damage you do. And so if we want to make sure that we're consistently getting what we need, we have to keep using the steal ability. Now, I don't know how many steals or thefts you need to actually commit or commute in order for it to happen, but I do think it's based on how many times you successfully steal something. So if we're just gonna, grab and move on, we might be in a limited place. Ooh. Sorry, Garnet, you are stuck with your virus. One day you will make it out of the zone of being level 70. And we're running around. If for whatever reason our next attempt against Ozma doesn't work, I'm still going to defeat it. I'm still going to use the little built-in game hack to be able to defeat it. Though I will give it one or two very effective tries. If we're immediately knocked out from a comet or a doomsday at the beginning, that doesn't count. And that's okay. If we level up, though, if Garnet levels up, though, I think this might be a really good opportunity to go at it. So when she's level 71 and everybody's not level 75, that might be a prime time to go for it, especially if Zidane is right on the precipice of getting tranced. If he gets tranced, though, while we're here, then it might not be the best move to make right away. Come on, you can do it. Alright, so she's level 71. Everybody else is an odd number, which is great. I guess we'll give it a go. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Besides dying, of course. We're going to head back to our good friend the Chocobo. Except this time, before we jump on Choco, we're going to set up all of our abilities and stuff. The first thing we should do is we should unequip all of the abilities and start fresh. Makes us feel nice and clean. We definitely need these two abilities. Those are kind of non-negotiable, with Auto Reflect being a very close second. We need Clear-Headed, we need Bright Eyes for blindness, and we're going to need Clear-Headed. Like, those are definitely things that we definitely need an antibody. I don't remember seeing anybody go to sleep or be petrified or stopped, so we might actually be able to luck out and not use those. However, the question is then what do we use our remaining 11 points on? If that's the case, maybe we'll add to Zidane's health, maybe? And that's something we can do. I don't know if we want to do the auto potion strategy. I don't know if that'll be a good idea. But what we can do is we can use every single item we've got in our toolbox. What did we say? Antibody. Dagger doesn't really need the ability to... what's the word I'm looking for? She doesn't really need the ability to see. It doesn't even look like she learns Bright Eyes, so that's not a big deal. But we still definitely need Clear-Headed, and we need Antibody alongside Insomnia? Loudmouth. We don't want her to be silenced. That would be a disaster. The remainder of the money, though, the remainder of the points have to go somewhere. Maybe we'll put on Locomotion, just in case. Clear-Headed stays on. Bright Eyes. Antibody. Those all have to stay on. Maybe for Freya, we're thinking about also an HP up. if that makes sense. Doesn't seem like we need body temp so much. And then our good old Queena. You're living your best life. You don't need the sleep, but you need the antibodies. You don't know Bright Eyes. That's interesting. But that's okay. Shouldn't be the end of the world. Definitely have to put Auto Reflect on. That one was huge. And then I really think that's it. But maybe this can help out later on. So everybody seems to be pretty much in a good place. Everybody has their best item on. It doesn't seem like we have much going on. Maybe we'll switch to the bracer here. You know, the defense going down might be a good idea. It might be a bad idea. We're wearing the Holy Mitre. I don't think we want magic defense to go down. I feel like that's just asking for trouble. You do have the pumice piece on, though, and we definitely don't want that to happen. Dark Matter is also our secret weapon. Dark Matter, when used on Ozma, automatically does 10,000 damage, and so there's some hope there, some usefulness involved. Did we change this? No, I think we like how everybody's kind of laid out now. Do we want the rubber suit though? It does bring up the magic defense, but I don't know if it's the best thing for us to do. Maybe we'll do this. All right, I think we're good to go. We're gonna call in a tent so that way everybody's healed up all the way. We'll click save real quick and keep that on the side. This could be it. This could be our moment. And Choco's gonna take us on her way. I think it's still here because we technically loaded back before it left us. No? Did I miss out? Oh, it's over here now. Very interesting. I was today years old when I realized the map told you where it was, instead of having to look for it. Wait. I know you feel a strange presence. I know it's bad. It's not like a ghost. Okay. I think everybody's ready. Let's get in there. And we've got a chance here. If we can get Mighty Guard up right away, we've got a good probability going on. Starting with Doomsday, starting strong. This could literally make or break us. What do you got?
Stay alive!
Up, down in one go. Didn't even have a chance. What's interesting is it took out the characters with the most health. Oh no. Okay, folks, we actually need to just kill our characters right away. Like we can't get through this battle successfully. So I'm just going to allow them to die. And the reason for that is we did not put on Garnet's ability to get through the reflex. And obviously that's going to be quite the issue. Come on, take him out. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Okay, great. Awesome. We did it. We did it. A mistake, my part. I take full credit. Okay, back to where we were. Yes, we're here. Jump on over. Click the button. Do the thing. Yes, I still want to look at it. Open menu. I don't know how we overlooked that. We don't need loudmouth, and we don't need locomotion. But we do need reflect null. That is non-negotiable. I think we also we need antibody. I think we decided we don't need loudmouth though. And so if there's another ability that we can use, I will take it. Okay. Everybody seems to be up to snuff. Let's get back in there. I think Choco should have a role. We're riding on Choco. Choco should be able to go. Okay, come on. Give us something good. Okay, Flare Star. Flare Star might not be the worst thing. Let's see what we get. How's everybody doing? Okay, see, you're holding on. Everybody can get healed up. And then we'll use Defenseless. We'll blind Ozma, hoping that helps a little bit. And we'll get our things going. Okay, Queen is down. Not the best scenario, but it could be worse. Okay, we do have Dime. That is going to help us. We can also use Dark Matter on Ozma. Come on, live. Live! Okay, we love them trying to use Berserk. I don't love that I accidentally used Life on the same character twice. But Bahamut can continue to do damage, and that is useful. It would be great if we could land a Grand Lethal attack. Okay, so it healed itself, which isn't good. Hitting us with another Mega Flare. Oh, the Mega Flare's us. Duh. We're down. We can't do it. We got annihilated. It happened again. All right. New strategy. We are going to start off with the Dark Matter. We're going to attempt to get everything in. Now, they recommend, right, that you're at least level 60 before fighting Ozma. Totally get that. Totally okay. I need a little bit more than that to survive, though. Okay, what do we got going on? Maybe, do we think the order will help at all, putting Queen in the back? I don't know. Okay, what do we got? All right, so naturally, Zidane's gonna go. Freya's gonna jump up. Doomsday is gonna happen. We don't have a choice. If we live, it just takes them right out. I don't know why. Alright, so we use Dark Matter to bring its health down. We try to get an attack in. Alright, healed itself a little bit. And hopefully that Mega Flare will just continue on. As it continues to go. This meteor might take us out, though. I'm kind of mad that the Dying ability hasn't shown up. Like, we needed just a little bit more. Which it just gave me, but now it's got its attack. And I'm not paying attention because I'm getting nervous. And so here we are, getting slammed again by a meteor. And he goes down, and I need him to stay up, but I just don't understand what the concern is about keeping him down. Another flare star. He's gonna go down again. Like, he's got more health than he needs to in comparison to everybody else. No! Oh, they survived this time. So everybody's giving it their best shot. We already used the Dark Matter, I believe. That's okay. The Grand Lethal is kind of giving us equal hate for equal pay. And that's okay. Don't take us out. Don't do it. So it's curing itself very quickly. And so it's kind of like negating the Grand Lethal that I'm doing. And because I'm mini, I really can't do much. And that is kind of what's been our downfall here. Come on, you can do it. Do any of you have auto life on? I don't think so. And so it keeps healing itself. A mini again.
Get back up. Come on, you can do it. No, you can't.
We were not able to beat it. Not the end of the world. I am going to still obliterate it. So this is what I'm going to do. We will see what happens when you beat it. Listen, I will go back on my own time and beat it faux realsies. Okay, but what I'm going to do right now is just show you what it looks like when you beat it. And so, you know, I get it. You might not consider it real. I'm okay with that. I'm really just more thinking through, like mentally in my head, what people might want to see. I'm here for the audience. I'm here for the people. I'm here for it all. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give everybody the ability to damage this thing with 10,000 damage. And so as long as it doesn't kill me in the next 6 turns, you'll see what's what. You'll see what's up. And so 1, 2, well, 1 again, 2, 3. I only need like 2 more.
Hit him. Hit him.
So, okay, so if you were curious, what does it look like to beat Ozma? That's what it looks like. I'm not counting it as a win. I will need to go back and do it. And I don't mind. But this is the only other way to get a pumice. And they'll be like, oh my goodness, I'm so excited for you. You've got what's going on. If we go into our menu, we also get an Ozma card, I believe. So that's what's up. Today we did a whole bunch of stuff. We finished the game. We showed off Choco's new abilities. We've done a whole bunch of stuff. So thank you for hanging out. Thank you for having a good time. And hopefully in the future we'll play something else. I'm not sure what yet, but it will always be for a grand time. We were playing Pokemon Stadium on Saturdays. The schedule continues to be Saturdays and Sundays. Not next Saturday, the 17th. I've got my global entry appointment, but I'll keep everybody updated on my channels. So I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time.